Hello everyone. So we've got a new video for you this week. We're testing out a new segment, which is essentially a weekly review of everything that's kind of gone on over the past week in Star Citizen and the verse. So we're just going to cover most of the topics from things like ATV and Reverse the Verse, and also things that have changed maybe in the timelines, and give you some updates. So let's get started. Okay, so what's first up this week? What's the hot topic?
So the biggest topic this week is the Corsair, a new Drake ship that's just been announced. It is a sort of large or medium, depends which way you want to look at it, exploration ship. It was announced on ATV, and we've just had a Reverse the Verse about it as well.
Definitely interesting. Very asymmetrical, which I know you like.
Yeah, see, I quite like the asymmetric idea, but this one, the more I look at it, the less I like it.
Same.
I'm not sure about these wings. Yeah, I don't really know. It looks like, if you look at it from the top down, it looks like a kind of like a freelancer, longer freelancer, and the wings have been flattened. It just looks a bit odd. Yeah, generally I quite like asymmetrical designs. I think it looks a bit more interesting than all the symmetrical stuff that we've got. But something about this one, definitely the more I look at it, the more I dislike it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, like you said, from the top down, yeah, you get that kind of freelancer-ish vibe with the way that the main thrusters are positioned.
Yeah.
The cockpit is very much Drake. Do you know what I mean? It's got that weird kind of lots and lots of segment cockpit, but the whole thing, the body is boxy. It's ugly in its boxiness. If that's a term, which I find weird. And like you said, the wings, interesting, but I don't think it works very well. I think that the wings just make it look a bit uncomfortable. I don't know what the word is for that, but a bit odd. And we can definitely say with 100% certainty, because we were speculating quite a lot during our stream the other night, that there may be a railgun, and this has been quashed. It is 100% not a railgun. It's just for looks at the minute, whatever that thing is that pokes off the wing. Yeah. So yeah,
I've got a feeling that when they release some sort of concept artwork for this, normally they show sort of different ideas that they come up with for a ship, and I've got a feeling that when they show these other ideas for the Corsair, I'm gonna pick one of the ones they didn't use. Yeah, that's my favourite.
Yeah. I mean, I think they actually mentioned that a little bit in RTV, in that they say that there are a lot of people who actually prefer the initial designs over the final product. And I think that, you probably make me right there. You know what I'm like? I like symmetry. I'm not a big asymmetrical fan, and this doesn't work for me, this wing style. And they even discussed it. They said that obviously in space, not a problem. They're saying that in atmosphere, also not a problem, because of it may be asymmetrical in looks, but it's symmetrical in thruster design. Yeah. Which is fine. But then you have literally made it look weird for the sake of making it look weird.
Yeah, exactly. Odd. Yeah.
You've pushed it into asymmetry just so you can go, look, it's asymmetrical, which is a bit weird. And I just think that all you've done really is you've given people a bit of a target for wings that maybe you didn't need. It could have been shorter, stouter wings to make this thing a bit boxier and beefier. Yeah, definitely. But about the interior, I like the idea of having this central core that houses all the most of the components, and the fact that then that backs onto your cargo area, which is where you would continue to keep all of your stuff, you know, all of your components and whatnot, which is a clever idea. But it also does mean that if someone gets a real lucky shot, let's say from underneath, all of a sudden every component you've got on your ship is just wiped out in one hit.
You're gone, yeah, all in one hit.
Yeah, it's dodgy. So
yeah, very dodgy. The location of the room is quite good. It's fairly surrounded by other things, but like you say, if someone gets a lucky shot on that location, you're in for a world of trouble.
Yeah. And I mean, they said they're going to open the back out a tiny bit, which I think would be a good idea, so that there's not such a squeeze to get in vehicles. But I mean, my overall opinion of this ship is I like it. I like this kind of really stripped down, you know, quite bare bones appeal of the Drake ships. You know, they get that kind of, you know, it's all kind of, anything goes wrong, it's very easy to just rip it out and put a new one in, sort of thing. But saying that, I think that this, if it's trying to compete with things like, you know, it's the same ships in its class, I think it's just outclassed. I think that as far as the actual feel and look of the ship goes, I just think that this looks a bit cheap and a bit tacky in its design. I don't know, that's just me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you with that. Yeah, one thing it does have going for it is the weaponry. It looks like it's got a bunch of size 5s and a bunch of size 4s. Currently gimbaled. Some people, I've seen some comments saying that they're going to be taking the gimbals off and just put the biggest weapons they can find on it. But I think when they actually get to try this on the new flight model, that's not really going to be an option.
No, I think yeah, definitely it's got a hell of a loadout on it, and it's, I mean, the turrets are going to be a pain in the arse, and I just think most people aren't going to like being in those side turrets at all. Most people constantly moan about turrets of that design, where the actual arc of fire and everything is very narrow, and it's not, you know, not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those turrets yet. I like really
the fact,
know how effective they're going to be doing anything.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can, well, possibly, this isn't a thing yet, but you can have them computer managed if you've got, obviously, if you've got enough power, so you can actually automate them, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
they did speak about that. That's really the most information we've had about blades and automating your turrets for quite a while. And it sounds like each computer component is going to have a certain amount of slots, and you use a certain amount of those slots to put AI in your turret or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to try and sort of balance what you want the ship to automate. It's not going to be able to do everything in a way, and that sounds quite a cool idea of what they're going with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like the sound of that, because the idea of, you know, automating your turrets or whatever you need to do, but obviously you've got a finite number of slots that you can use, and each of those slots is going to use a certain amount of power, so you've got to work out how much power can you afford to give it, you know, and so on. I think it'd be interesting to watch people try and run these ships maybe with less people than they need, trying to use the AI and all that. It'd be interesting to see that happening in the future.
Yeah.
And I think the front of this ship is definitely going to be a danger zone, because having all of those guns pointing straight at you is going to cause you some problems.
Oh yeah.
But I think that once you get around the side, or probably, you know, there'll be certain points underneath or above, I think you're gonna run away with it. I don't think that those turrets are going to be able to keep up.
No, yeah, not sure about that.
Yes, and I mean, there was discussion. That was a weird way of saying discussion, but yes, there was discussion about, I think during our stream, that was it for this ship where Execute was saying that there was an individual room for everyone?
Yeah, it looks like the habitation area, everyone's got their own little bedroom type thing, which is a big difference to some of the other ships of this size. Normally it's just a couple of bunks in a room and you all share sort of thing. But
yeah,
Drake seemed to have gone for a different route with this one.
Very interesting, considering that it's such a stripped down vehicle. But I suppose maybe because it is so stripped down, they've got the room to do it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, taking some hull plating off to get a bit of extra room in there.
Yeah, what hull plating? It's a Drake. But yeah, I mean, that is one thing that they did mention as well, is that people do moan about Drakes being a little bit fragile, and they know they are. They're designed that way, and I just think bit of a shame, really, because you know, this thing, I think it could be a really cool ship. I think seeing one of these flying around in space is going to be exciting. But I just think, I don't know, for whatever it is, $215, I think. I think there's better options, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we need more ships in this sort of size and role category. So, you know, GG. It's good to have it in the selection pool for people that want this sort of thing. Its main competitors are the Constellation Aquila and the 600i. So, it's good to get some more variation in there, and it's good to see from a manufacturer that he's not one of the biggest players like Anvil or Aegis, because new ships are usually from those manufacturers. Yeah,
it's nice to see them kind of stepping up and putting something in that's, you know, let's face it, I mean, it's not going to be my favourite ship, but it definitely fills a void that I think's been there for a while. I can see a lot of people are going to be very excited about this ship, and I guarantee you most of the people we know have probably bought one by now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's up next then on the list of things this week?
So off the back of the Corsair announcement, CIG have now done a new thing with war bond sales. For those that aren't aware of what the war bond sale is, it's where you're not allowed to use store credit from other melted ships. So you have to basically inject new cash into Star Citizen to buy a war bond ship. So if you buy a war bond version of the Corsair, you can reserve a name for your ship. And this has caused a bit of contention on Spectrum. Because I think they're worried that that people will sort of lock down certain words, and then someone later on will try and sort of register a name for their ship, but a lot of the sort of common names or words will already be locked up.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that being a thing. I could see that, you know, it's a bit like, you know, people immediately taking up names on, you know, like Twitter handles and Instagram hooks or whatever the hell they're called, you know.
Yeah.
It is a thing that people will do, but I think it will force people to be creative.
Yeah,
basically, which I think is a good thing. So
the problem you get though is if someone really wants their name, or you know, or really wants a popular name for their ship, and it's already taken, they might be forced to, you know, put some random numbers at the end of their name, of their ship name, and then just go with that. And by the end of it, you'll end up with, you know, I don't know, slave 1 ... you know, 5126, and you'll be like, it'll just get ridiculous if people start doing that sort of thing.
I swear to you on all that is holy, if CIG do not limit the use of characters in names of ships, I'm going to be pissed, because you're going to get all these people making these just stupid ass names like that, you know, where they just go, yeah, it's like Tyler 576727665.
Yeah.
You're like, no. I mean, fair enough. I mean, in a way, it actually makes more sense for a spaceship than it does for a dude running around shooting you in Battlefield. So in that respect, I kind of actually think, well, maybe I would be a little bit more lax when I see that ship. I won't immediately judge them as a dick. But I don't know, it would be nice to see people being creative and thinking up really cool, awesome, intimidating pirate names, or, awesome, if you're flying around in a healer wagon, then, come up with a cool name that symbolises what you're doing, stuff like that. So
yeah. Having individual ship names is, it's going to be quite a sought after thing, I would have thought, especially for role players. But this mechanic of, you can only reserve your ship name if you give us new money is a bit dodgy.
Yeah. I mean, this was exactly what we were talking about in Spectrum Drama last week, was that, how is monetization going to work, etc., etc. And this is a form of monetization, in that they're saying to you, you can name your ship, which everyone should be able to do anyway, let's face it. But in order to do that, we're going to need some real hard cash from you. And you think that's a bit mean, If I bought a ship with real hard cash, and then I decided I want a different ship, and I trade in my real world hard money, hard cash money ship for something else, and you're now telling me I can't name it because I didn't give you real money.
Yeah.
No, that's a bit skanky, to be honest.
It is a bit. In the future, once the game's out and all that, maybe this, we can only hope that this would be, like a £5, £5 little microtransaction for whatever ship you want to put it on. But for now, it just looks a bit snidey. I don't really like it.
No.
Okay, so also in ATV this week we had we had a look at the Arc Corp props and lighting, which, I mean, those guys over at the prop department are doing an awesome job. Some of those like hot dog stands and whatever, they're just really, really well done.
Yeah. They put so much detail into them, like silly little details, which, let's face it, will probably pass us by almost 99% of the time we're in the game. But that one time when you go up and have a good look, you're not going to be disappointed, because they really have put a lot of effort in. Yeah,
the lighting as well. What the lighting artist was showing, Arc Corp's going to look amazing when you're walking around Area 18.
Yeah, it's going to be very. What's that new film that came out recently? It was a remake. Oh, god damn it!
Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's going to be quite Blade Runner-esque, when everything's kind of neon and shiny, and the fact that they it was funny actually, because he showed him kind of adding all the little bits that they need to do to put the lighting in, and then right at the end he went, and we're just going to put some puddles on the ground, and you're like, cheater, this can't always be raining to make your lights look good.
Yeah.
But no, it's a cracking job. I mean, you look at that, the water droplets that are falling, and on all the light that's gone into making that stand out. It's just, they do an incredible job, and that's the other thing as well, that I think a lot of people that maybe are really into this game, but they're not into how it's made, they take for granted how it's made, and it is made by these people who put in just untold amounts of hours on the smallest details to make our experience 100 times better, and I salute them all.
Just imagine when weather conditions come in on the planets, and it is like there's like a thunderstorm off in the distance, and the rain starts hitting Area 18. It's just going to look amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Tell you what I can't wait for is so you park your ship up. I mean, whether this will ever happen because of these stupid no-fly zones, but what I'd really like is to park my ship somewhere in a town or city, so that it's, you know what I mean, like you used to see in films like Serenity and stuff, where they take a ship near to a town and they park it down, and then they go in a little rover, kind of thing. But their ship's only there, they can see it, and imagine that, you park it down, you've got all these lights coming off the city, it's raining, and you can stand with your back door open, watching the rain pour off your ship, hearing the sound of it hitting the metal.
Yeah.
That is when it's going to be immersive, and I just hope they get that right, because I'm one of these sad people where, you know, I'll probably stand there and take that in for an hour, you know. Because it's amazing what they can do and how they can make you feel like you are somewhere when you are sitting on your ass basically and, you know, staring at a screen. So I can't wait to see the kind of stuff they get doing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and lastly, we've had a small update to the roadmap. We can now see some sort of Star Marine updates getting added. So in 3.5, we should be getting a bunch of new features, some new HUD elements, bug fixes. I think there's some map reworks in there as well. A new elimination map called Demian Comms.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stuff. So it's interesting to see we're actually getting some updates to Star Marine and hopefully Arena Commander coming in the near future. We know they were kind of waiting around till they had a team, a dedicated team to do these things. Maybe they've actually started getting some guys on board, and yeah, interested to see what other updates we're going to get for these.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see something new, because let's face it, it has been quite stagnant for a while. You know, not a lot of people playing it, and when you do, sometimes it's actually, you know, the games become really boring because there's either not enough people on the teams or whatever. It's I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some new energy pumped into it, you know, to give it a new lease on life, basically. Yeah.
What they should actually do is open up Star Marine and Arena Commander to as like a free-to-play area. You know, people that haven't bought into the game can't go into the PU, but they can jump on Star Marine or Arena Commander and get to try some combat out. It might actually bring in some new people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cracking idea. I think the amount of people who would be up for, if it was free to play, jumping in and shooting some people, it would give us more people per game. So, you know, we wouldn't keep getting stuck out with like half-filled matches and stuff. Yeah, definitely, I can see people when they get to fly that ship around in Arena Commander, you know, and they're whizzing around and shooting everyone, firing rockets. If that isn't enough to lure in some new players, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it. That's our roundup for the week. We hope you liked everything we've shown you, and if you do, don't forget to drop some comments in the comment section below, and like the vid, and don't forget to subscribe for more Star Citizen content. If you guys do like this video, do let us know, because this is a bit of a test, and if you like it, then we will do this week by week as best we can, to kind of give you some up-to-date information, save you trawling the internet. So definitely let us know, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.